Morning, everybody. How we doing? Okay. First things first. Hair's not right. Right, now it is right-ish, but it'll do. Alright then. Who's here? Do say hello. Hi Ian, how you doing? Good to see you on here. Oh, that reminds me, anybody who hasn't subscribed, please subscribe if you enjoying watching this in the future. And a thumbs up would be amazing. Right, so yes, good to see you on here, Ian. Today, as it says in the title, we're going to be having a look at Polychrome DSP Nunchuck, which is something I've been using for a while now. It's an absolutely brilliant amp. So we'll have a look in my set. I'm going to show you it, and we're going to build some tones. I'm going to show you how I go about it. Is what I'm going to do. But first, gotta have a coffee, hang around, wait for a few people, and then we can start because anybody who's late probably won't want to miss out. Yeah, so gotta get my plectrum sorted because I'm gonna have to play. So another very, very busy day yesterday. Playing. It was good. I got in about nearly getting up to 4 hours of actual sort of playing, and two and a half of it was just like solid improvisation. Really good. I mean, the good thing about what I was talking about yesterday, being in flow and all that kind of thing. I mean, those situations where you've got to perform, but you've got to just like improvise, but like the live shows with Thomas are brilliant because whatever happens, that you've just got to keep going, and that does make a big difference. Totally. But I'm amazed I haven't had, touch wood, any injuries yet. Almost perfectly in tune. All right, have a bit of my coffee. Hang on a few minutes, and we'll start. So, anybody who wants to talk about anything now before I start would be great. But yeah, Polychrome, like I've absolutely, since that company started, I haven't used anything else. I mean, McLaughlin Suite was absolutely brilliant, and that's been all that I've used. So since that came out, whenever you've heard me play live, it's all been McLaughlin Suite for a while. Then the Kiesel came out, the Kiesel amp, and I used that. And that was also very good, and that's also in this live set that I use. I've got a few of those instances of that. And then the most recent amp that they've built is Nunchuck, which is I know it's newer, and newer tends to be my favourite, but so far it's been great, and that's been all of my lead tones. So whenever you see me live with Thomas, I'm only using that. And then all of my main lead playing and everything is completely that as well. So it's like, it's a really good thing. And then I suppose, you know, as I'm talking about it, we should have a look at it. There we go. How cool does that look? So a couple of things on it. So I'll just quickly go through the different pages. So we have like 5 different pages. First one is like stomp boxes, and you'll get the head there as well. So the first one, we've got wah wah, chorus, compressor, and my favorite, explode. Next one is all the overdrives plus an octavator. And then the next one is the amps. So we've got speaker chains, so not just IRs. There's like other bits and bobs of processing going on there. So we'll have, the speaker chains, and we'll have 20 of them, and you can load your IRs in it. And it's got this really handy section here where basically we've got high pass, low pass filters, so you can clean the low end up, high end, room, air, all that kind of stuff, which I'll go over. We've got a shape EQ, which we can have pre and post. We've got master EQ there, and then we've got the effects. So that's kind of the layout. Those are your main pages that you're going to go through. And then at the top here, we've got the wide button, which I've got on at the minute. Gate. Hypertune, you can detune it. We've got spread, which is similar to wide, but that's like a Hass effect. We've got a master compressor, which does some pretty cool stuff, especially on cleans. You can really enhance sort of the effects, but keep sort of your guitar, what you're playing, in focus as well, which is pretty cool without swamping it out. And that's the overall sort of layout we have. All right, anybody who's on here, do say hello and ask questions, because I'll be showing you my process, and no doubt you'll be wanting to know, sort of like, have your own questions. So I'll be really interested in hearing those. So, right. So I think the first thing we're going to do is, I think we'll have to just, get into it. And what better way to start than the initial patch? All right, so tell you what's interesting. So I can see what I'm doing there. All right, I'm comfortable, and there I am. Cool. Yes, so here we are, and I think for me, obviously, we'll make a high gain tone to start with, and what you end up with is this sort of sound, right? And that's just basically the amp head, okay, on vintage. So what I'll do is, first thing, I'll probably just like mess about and just get the overall sort of amp head tone that I'm wanting. So I'm quite liking the hot rod today, okay, and I tend to just go with whatever my gut instinct is, really. A lot of the times I'm not fully in a design mode. So hot rod feels good. And I think when I'm designing tones, there's a couple of things that are happening here. There are two hats that I wear. One of them is the hat of the player. So you're sitting here and you're playing. And you're just enjoying the dynamics of the amp. It's the playability, the interaction between you and the amp is super important. And with Nunchuck, it's a lot of fun. It's like really, really good. It's very, very responsive to your playing. And also, a thing to point out about playing is the actual latency on this is crazy low. It's very, very, very low indeed. It's the lowest out there. Oh, there's Robin. Oh, yeah, look at that. Super chat. Thank you. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Keep rocking. Appreciate you. Wonderful. Thank you. So, anyway, so there's the playability, and that's where you sit tweaking your amp and you kind of playing your riffs, playing your chords, doing your chugs. Okay. And then the other hat that I wear is the one of a producer engineer. So it's kind of like a final polishing stage. So and that can happen, I'll use any of these modes, but certainly like when we start tweaking the EQ, that's very much that way. You've got your raw sound, it's great for playing, you love it, but then there's that final edge of trying to get it to fit and mold into your mix and give your sound that final presence, whatever it needs, whatever it's lacking, you can add in. But for now, we're in the player mode, okay? That one. So hot rod's pretty good. I'm just going to leave the amp there. The next thing I tend to do is then I'll start picking like a speaker. Now, these are all interchangeable. You could have a clean one, you could have the hot rod one, you could have the more high gain one. We'll see what the hot rod's got. Well, I'm feeling 2 or 3. So definitely 3 is good, but let's just check out the other ones. 5. 4. 3. So, what I tend to do rather than get overwhelmed, because one thing with IR speaker chains is you can just go around in a lot of circles trying to decide which one's best. So literally what I suggest is you just go off insight, you pick the one that kind of resonates to you, yeah? Because we can spend too long just wondering, which is the right one, At the end of the day, if you're vibing with it, that's the most important thing. Anything to do with kind of shaping it later on, we can do all of that. We can put our engineer producer hat on. Okay, but so far, this is what I've got. On the hot rod. So next bit is I'll just have a bit mess about with the amp itself. And let's have a look. Let's have a look at the boost. That's pretty good. That's giving it lots of fizz. Jump. I'm going to have boost in there. I'll leave tight off for now. Right, and then we'll just set up a little bit of gain. So I think like what I do with the amp is kind of just get as much kind of gain as I think I need, and then I'll start adding a stomp box to that, okay, and then start balancing the two drives out. But let's just have a look at how these work. So I'll turn 2 down and we'll turn 1 up. So 1 to me is like the grit, okay? And then 2 kind of has a smoothing effect. I mean, it could go the other way. So I'm going to put the tight switch in because the low end's getting a little bit flubby. Alright, so we're going to go to the drives now, and we're just going to pick which one kind of we like. Now, often what I'll do is I always start with the Green Mamba, and I do the particular sort of like 808, you know, tube screamer trick, where basically turn the drive down and you have the level all the way up. So that's without, that's with, and we can add a little bit of driving if we want. Does that sound pretty good? Let's try this one, Storm Drive. So I'm really liking that. So we've got a high pass and a low pass filter on this, so it kind of target the area that it distorts. So I think for this, I'm going to use a bit more of the drive. We'll get a bit of bite there. So we've got 2 flavors, Green Mamba, Storm. Quite liking the Storm Drive at the minute. And then we've got Metal Charlie. Okay, I'm just going to have a little bit more play with the gain. Alright, let's do a bit of EQing then. So I'll just get onto here, onto the amp head, and then we'll just have a bit faff. Okay, sounding pretty good. Now one thing I really like on this is the room. See, we're in a room now. Now, I love putting the room on and just sitting and practicing. I just find it really good. But I'm just going to switch it off for now because I just want to hear the effect of all these other things. So resonance I tend to leave, but resonance just puts a little bit of a low-end bump onto the amp. So you're getting some tight low end in there actually, which is quite nice. Actually, I'll leave it up. Now these filters are important. So we've got high pass and low pass. So if you want to really tighten up the low end and clean it and stop it from being flubby, so we just need a bit of that. And then this is really cool because this is the high pass. This is the low pass filter, and this will clean up the high end. So we can have you know what you're using this for is just to take away that sort of really kind of resonant fizz that you'll get from using distortion. So we're starting to get a pretty sort of tight sound. Pop a little bit of presence on there as well. And also if you want to control the top end as well, there's this looks like a shelving EQ as well. So kind of that's there as well. Let's stick a bit of that on. All right. Next up, let's have a look. Just checking the chat. Now, any questions? Just ask. Okay. But how's it sounding? So for a bit of realism, because at the minute we're in a vacuum, I might as well just give it a bit of room. And what I do is I just listen to the tail of the sound when I play. So it's sometimes nice just to have a bit of air around your tone. Okay. A bit more. So it's all to do with the playability of this tone. You know, that's what I'm doing. I'm wanting a feel. I'm wanting something that, you know, excites me. It's going to want me to keep playing this tone, you know. That's what I'm doing. So not sure what I'm going to do with this just yet, but I think what I'll do is I'm going to add some effects. So I think for me, I'm just wanting a general purpose tone that I can use on lives and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I can play a rhythm on it, I can play leads on it. I'm just going to stick the effects on. Usually what I'll do is I'll start with a bit of delay. Interesting enough, actually, when I'm mixing guitars and stuff, and especially like just any guitars, I tend not to use reverb at all. There'll only just be delay on there. So I've got a few flavors. Standard. So that's like a mono delay. You can hear it in, you know, directly. I'm on headphones coming from behind my head. It's nicely in the middle, wide. So that's pretty cool. That's just the two delays either side of your head. And then we've got ping pong. So that's the most fun, isn't it? Primal. That's interesting. I'd have to ask Thomas what that is. But sounds retro. All right. So we've got our delay times. I'm going to go for the ping pong. Seems to be my favorite. All right. So I just get lost playing this. Anyway, we've got a high pass and a low pass filter. So the next thing for me with delays is like shaping it. So for me, what I can do is just cut it down to size, taking some of the low end off. So it's not going to, you know, in the mix get in the way with anything else. But also it gives you, using the high pass and low pass for the playability, it gives you more of a sense of perspective. So we can start making delays sound like they're in the background. That filter sounds really good, doesn't it? Okay. And there we go. We've got our mix and we've got ducking. Ducking's super handy because what it means is when I'm playing, it'll turn the delay down. And then you can hear the delay when I stop come up in volume. So that's great for those phrases, you know, where That's pretty good. So we're going to have a bit of that. Feedback, we know that's just how many repeats, how they go on. I'm just going to leave it there. And then let's add a bit of reverb. So we've got a couple of different flavors. We've got the spring, short, medium. That's pretty nice, isn't it? What happens with turn right now? But for now, I'm not going to use that because I'm going to go more digital. So I'm just going to turn the delay off so I can hear what this reverb's doing and whack it up. Yeah, so first thing, I'm just going to kind of get it into shape. So I don't want it kind of adding extra flubbiness to my sound. So I'm just going to take a bit of that off. Bit of the high end off. Teeny bit of the thickness. Okay, so diffusion's like how the sound's absorbed by the material around the reverb. It's a lot more kind of harsher there. And that's softening it. Modulation, it's like chorus, it sort of adds a little bit of pitch wobble to it. I do like a bit of wobble. And then pre-delay is quite important, so here we can just add, basically the reverb won't start till after that time. So if we went... So the cool thing about that is you can hear the guitar really up front and then the delays in the background. So actually, we have something. I'm just going to go for about that. All right. So there we go. And then, I mean, we've got the basic tone there. So I think the rest of it is, I'm just gonna have a bit of a mess about with it. We're gonna save it. Save. Right, let's put live. We'll just get some drums and stuff up. fact, you know what? Being lazy. We'll just quickly make a track. What we'll do. All right. Get the tuning off that. Alright, we're back to our nunchuck sound now. Hi Jeff, building tones. So now we can start wearing, we'll do a few final tweaks as the player. So I'll take wide off for now. Hi Hibby, how you doing? Building some guitar tones here. Right, let's get the effect levels right. Wow, just got home working in 42 degrees heat. That's amazing. Okay, we're in good shape. So I think now I'm just going to record a little bit of my solo. So this is the next stage of it. So I've got a little bit of a track I can hear my guitar against. And then like now we're just going to kind of get some EQ on it and sort of make it more present, remove frequencies we're not really that interested in. Bye, Stelly. And there we go. And that is pretty much how I make the preset. So, that's how I make a high gain tone, and it sounds very good. It's very playable. I feel confident. We've come at this wearing our two different hats. One of the player, we just want to have fun and play, and then the second one is the producer and the engineer, where we just need to hear our guitar recorded next to a track, so we can kind of blend in and just finally tweak what we got there. But there's a couple of things we can also have a look at. So hi, some guy. How you doing? Good morning to Stelly. 42 centigrade heat today. Wow. That's really hot, isn't it? Anyway. And I mean, at this stage, I'm just going to save that. We can just have a quick mess about with the other fun things on here. So we've got things like spread. So what spread's really good for, I find, is adding and enhancing the effects. So what you can do is, if you want your guitar to still be fairly in the center, but with a slight halo of wideness around it, then spread's really good for that. See, that's pretty cool. The other thing, wide, which I love. I'm just going to go for a bit of spread, you know. Bit of spread. We're getting a pretty good sound there. And that's pretty much like how I made all of my presets for Nunchuck, because I wanted them playable, and I wanted them also to sound good as soon as you start recording them. They're not like stepping on other sounds and causing like mayhem in a mix, you know, you're just kind of fitting there. It's cold in here. My fingers aren't full power yet. Doing good. Thank you for this scene. It's fantastic. I just reviewed my catalogue of originals. Excited, fun, and focused, and direction. Brilliant. Yeah, almost as hot as those Nunchuck tones. So, I mean, the reason I like, the Nunchuck as well is because it is very responsive to my playing. It is quite, it's like dynamic. Anyway, now that we've got sort of this initial sound that we've built on the live, we can start making variations of it. So this almost becomes the default. But yeah, so you can just go wild, sort of coming up with other sort of ideas on that. All right, coffee time questions. And I'm just going to nip over to this view. Right, so I'm sure most of you probably knew how to build an amp anyway, but I think it's nice just to say, how someone else does it, which is cool. Just set myself up for this other window. So, I mean, it would be great to have... Right, so anybody wanna talk about anything? Put my shit. Oh, the only thing that annoys me ever in life is leads under my chair. That is it. I can't believe it's already an hour. So yeah, any thoughts? Any questions? If not, I've got something else we can do. Which is cool. The GTR Waves package. Oh right, yeah. Right. Going back to this. Right. Okay. So one thing, I can't forget this, is the explode, right? Now, explode is this thing here. We'll see if we can get it going. I'm wondering if mine... Alright, okay. So, I've got a few different foot switches assigned to explode, right? Now, the first thing is I've got, you know, those like cheap plasticky expression pedals. So you get them from Korg. They're like the cheapest ones on Amazon. And I bought 2 of those, and they work the A and B buttons, and they work remarkably well. I think Thomas has probably got the same thing. But I've got them mounted to a pedal board, which gives them a little bit of stability. So they feel, once they're mounted onto something hard and they're not moving, they're pretty good. But other than that, they're quite plasticky, you know. So I've got 2 of those expression pedals coming into the computer. That's the first thing. And then the other thing I've got, and I think Thomas might have been showing this, is I've got these cheap expression pedals, which are only about $40. So for about $40, I would say under $60, you can get all of your expression pedals sorted out. Up and running, so you can kind of use this, you know. Right, so we've got different... Now, one thing I like to do is have... one goes up, one goes down, and never... Yeah, I quite like that. Like, it's sort of going down by... Yeah, so I like to set the B button so it goes down by a 4th, and then I've got the other one going up a 5th. That's cool, isn't it? Bending and then dropping it down. Let's try that with a... have a bit played. But I'll lose that now. Don't need the recording. There we go. So you get the idea. Those high notes bends are very War of the Worlds, yeah. I'm hearing complaints about the way. You see, I used to use waves, and I just honestly, I can't. Like waves, say bad things, but you know, it's like you buy their stuff, and then like you come to like do an update. And then you find that you've got to pay a load of money just for the updates. You know, I just got like really sick of that. So I just ditched them. And they were just churning so many plugins. I just thought, you know, there's too many choices. Too much choice paralysis. So I like to keep things simple. So simple for me, Polychrome stuff, absolutely brilliant. Don't go anywhere else. And I think like working you know, in general, with anything I have, working with limitations is where the artist lives. So having a set choice. So, you know, like when we're talking about just plugins, like one thing that I have on every channel here is I have an SSL. Look at that. I mean, do you need much more for EQing than that and compression? Not much. I mean, that's going to get you 90% of any result. Okay, I've got 90% there. A lot of stuff's high pass, low pass filters. So, like, actually on here, I've already got my high pass and low pass mapped, so I don't even have to open the plugin. And that's it. You know, it works really good. But I'll just catch up on the chat a bit. So I must be off the vid, but the end product sounds great. Yeah, I wouldn't have touched the wave stuff. Not a fan of the upgrade plan. Amtech is old. There's much better options. Yeah. You see, the thing about the Polychrome stuff is, you know, it's made with love, right? But what I mean by that, it's made by somebody who is, you know, a working guitarist with like absolutely tons and tons of experience building something that's a tool that's usable to a professional level, that's got everything that you need and can cope with any situation. That's what's so good about it. And super easy to use. So it's accessible to everybody, the Polychrome stuff, but it sounds amazing, and it really is, you know, like everything you need, really. Okay. Audio Assault albums are much better and are always good on sale. Lots of variety. I love the Explode pedal. I would love to see a standalone plugin of just that. Yeah, I hear the complaints already about the wave deals. All right, here we go. Plugin at Lions Audio MC77 is great, and the 1176 emulation. Just wait for the sale. It will be. Yeah. And McRock and Suite is Hippie's go-to. So there we go. Yeah, so the Explode pedal is like tons of fun there, you know, just mapping it to things. Actually, I should save that, shouldn't I? Save my expression pedal. And then, of course, we've got like an octavator. We'll come back to this scene here. Let's go for this one. What have we got? All right. I'm just beginning to learn about amps. Currently just use the Boss Katana. Don Stewart. Excited to watch this stream and learn more. Yeah, so you'll have to watch it back. I've got another 20 minutes to go, so I'm just sort of like messing about with this sound I've been making. But do watch it back. I think what we might do though is we might have a look at some of the guitar tones here. Sorry, I'm flicking about quite a lot. It's pretty mad sitting here and then looking at my studio from this angle. Yeah, so it's like a proper gig now with my amp. I really like the way my pick sounds on this sound. Sounds great. Cool. All right, so let's make a clean tone to finish off with. So let's have a look. And let's go back to the default. Get the clean. Tell you what, that sounds like really good already. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Yeah, like they all sound really good. Right, okay, so that's too warm. That's alright. Particularly like 3. I think we're going to do 3 again. 4. 4 is what I like the sound of. I'll tell you what this tone reminds me of. So Richie Kotzen's new album, Nomad, he does this solo on this painfully clean sound. It's very much like that. Tell you what, I mean, this is the kind of sound I love to practice on now. Just get the room and crank it up. And just have fun playing clean and. All right, let's add some compression. add a little. Alright, let's go for, I don't know, like loads of effects like what Pliny would do. Like big reverb. I'm just going to run the track so I can get the vibe going. Lovely, isn't it? So the pre-delay is just how much I want to hear my guitar up front, really. Right, let's go for some chorus. Let's try it pre. Very retro. I'm leaning over and doing my foot pedal with my hand. Right, I'm starting to practice now. Hi Tanmay, how you doing? Just been building sounds on Nunchuck. It's been loads of fun. Good to see it on here. Let's save. Right. In fact, you know what? I'll just make sure I put live at the beginning so I know when I made it. So that's really good. Yes, this one. But I have a variation because what I was really enjoying was actually not having any effects. And just having some of the more room, I think. Solid that. I'm gonna save that. Room clean. Room clean. Yeah, it sounds great, doesn't it? So I wonder what happens if we do maybe some more fusion-y kind of thing and just add a little bit of... How's the noise gate in it? Well, there's no noise, so it's on very low. Yeah, the trick is kind of getting this, so... Oh, Brian, thank you. That's very kind. Brian, nightly viewer here, thank you for being so generous with tips and such. The degree to which you give your gifts away is a degree to which they return. Thank you, Brian. And that also reminds me, you know, if you're enjoying this, do subscribe, support the channel, thumbs up, which would be great. But I absolutely this is the thing that I love doing, is just connecting with everybody now and sharing what I know, you know. So it's just a great little sort of community. It's a great place for us creative people to meet up. And I think like one of the things that's like super important with the modern musician today is that we're kind of more in isolation. So I think it's good to have somewhere where we can meet, share our thoughts, use this channel as an experiment, ask questions, and just go for crazy missions. Because, as I say, it can be quite lonely, as I've found. So it's nice just to have the company, and this is my main way of connecting to the musical world now. Really. Having said that, I think we might be planning some more McRockland and Hutch. tunes. So yes, thank you, Brian. Which also reminds me, because one thing I'll schedule it in this morning. So tomorrow, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start covering modes, right? And my approach to modes. And I know this is going to be a bit of a hot subject. So anybody who is interested in kind of modal stuff, tomorrow is going to be modes. And we're going to talk about it. And there's going to be some different stages. Because I know, like, with modes, right, there's lots of books and they're telling you, like, you know, that there are all these different separate scales and that's how you think about it. Then there's kind of other ways to think of it, like where you don't think about modes and you just sort of play because you probably learnt the modes and completely forgot about it and don't need the classification. And you're just playing. There's ways where people just think of the intervals. So I just want to cover it, and I'll probably talk quite a bit about my journey in learning modes and like where I started and how I kind of ended up where I am now. So it's a bit of a natural transition, and I think like it'll be really good for people who are kind of wanting that sort of identification. So there are loads of modes. But are there really? This is the question. Or is it just one framework? But this is what we're going to be discussing to tomorrow, you know? Because I don't think I've ever really talked about modes very much. But they're certainly a massive part of what I do. Seriously, you know? But do I think about modes? This is the thing. And what is the best way to think about it? And all of this sort of stuff. So we're gonna have a chat about it. I mean, but I can answer that question. The best way to think is to not think at all. That's ultimately where you want to end up. Because when you're thinking, it's just like you're not, you know, you're gonna mess up. Well, that's interesting. Ionian is like odd numbers. Dorian is even numbers. But there are only two modes in that system. That's interesting, Brian. I'm trying to get my head around that. You can see the smoke coming out my ears. But yes, tomorrow, let's like, you know, try and make modes simple, and see where we end up. But yes, we're doing modes, and it could be that I don't know if we'll fit it all into one session. Because I'm imagining there'll be lots of questions and discussions, and I'll want to take my time rather than try and like let's get it all done in one session. I'm going to want to just you know, make sure we do a thorough job of this. So I'm looking forward to that. That is going to be you know, really, really exciting. So I'm coming to the end of the stream. I don't know if anybody's got any final questions, but I'm now going to go for my park walk and reflect, do my wins, problems, opportunities when I get in, and quickly set up the live for tomorrow, which will be, I don't know, everything you want to know about modes or something like that. I'll set that up, and hopefully I'll see lots and lots of people there. Thank you, everybody, for turning up and, you know, donating. That's been absolutely amazing. Thank you for the super chats, Brian and Ronan. It's been like, it's mind blowing. Actually, it's so cool that you've done that. But yes, I'm going to have a walk. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time, and let's talk modes. All right then. All right, bye.